movements. A lot of people don't have them in their exercise programs, and I'm here to tell you, if you have compound movements in your exercise program, you're literally going to get about 3 times. You're going to get 3 times the result than if you didn't. If you're just hitting machines, you know, walking on the treadmill, that sort of thing, that is not going to get you there. You have to have compound movements. What is a compound movement? A compound movement, in layman's terms, is a movement that is forcing you, that has the body use more than one muscle group at a time. So basically, think about a deadlift, think about a front squat to an overhead press. You're triggering multiple muscles when you do these movements. If you're just if you're just limiting yourself to machines, you're really leaving a lot on the table, because you're not gonna get as much muscle metabolism with those. You're not triggering as many muscle groups, and again, you're really just leaving a lot on the table. So compound movements are squats, deadlifts. If you're doing a front squat with dumbbells to an overhead press, that's all good. If you're doing lunges, that's a compound movement. Any movement, again, where you're triggering multiple muscle groups in one movement, that's a compound movement. So even if you're doing like a back row with a barbell, that's a compound movement. But you're triggering so many more muscle groups when you do these. It's never going to compare to machine work. Even hammer strength is great, but it's not the same as doing a full-on compound movement. So dumbbell, barbell, kettlebell, that's all that stuff that creates those compound movements. And really the question is, are you doing them? If you're not doing them, that's the problem, that's the issue, because you're leaving a lot on the table. And there are certain muscle groups, like your core, your lower back, your midsection, your core, you're not even going to trigger those with a lot of the machine movements. And really a lot of other movements, bicep curls, things like that. I love doing my bicep curls, but you're not triggering all your muscle groups with just a bicep curl. You need to have these full-on compound movements to trigger your full body, to make sure the full body is working when you do this stuff. So, you know, food for thought. And the real question is, are you doing them? And the next question is, if you're not doing them, why aren't you doing them? Why do you feel like is it an experience factor? Is it a technique factor? What's the biggest thing holding you back from doing some of these movements? Some moves can be scary. So a deadlift can be scary if you're not used to doing them. Squats can be scary if you're not used to doing them. A front squat, a Zercher squat, that can be really daunting, and that can be really fearful to people who aren't used to doing them. And that's another reason I do what I do. That's my biggest way I try to help people. Most people, they don't get the proper help, so they're never going to accelerate your body. But if you do a front Zercher squat, I mean, that's going to blow your whole friggin' mind if you've never done it before, because you're triggering everything. You're triggering your core, you're triggering your shoulders, you're triggering your biceps, you're obviously triggering your quads to do these movements. But if you've never done it before, it's like you're stepping into a whole new universe with some of these moves. So lunges to an overhead press, if you're doing single head lunges to an overhead press, if you've never done those before, it's like you're opening up a whole nother universe to your fitness and what you're capable of doing. So anyway, I jumped on here real quick today to talk about compound movements. Are you doing them? Are you not doing them? I see some people commenting. I love that. I'm going to start going live more now that I've unlocked live. But, you know, getting things started as far as live videos go. And the biggest question to you is, you know, what is not in your program? Why is it in your program? How can you get it into your program? How can you work that stuff in so you have a more well-rounded program? And really, so you're really doing yourself a disjustice if you don't do a lot of this stuff. And that's really the problem. And the way I approach fitness is, I don't do it from a make you feel bad standpoint. Oh, you can't do this. Oh my God, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's the worst way to motivate somebody to do anything, really, anything. If somebody sucks at computers and you make them feel like garbage, they're never going to want to get in front of a computer again. If somebody is out with fitness or they're not so good at fitness, it's about improving your fitness to get you to that next level. So some people don't get the help, and that's on you. Some people want the help, and that's why I do my online coaching, to critique, to talk to people. That's why I have a YouTube channel. So if you've never checked out my videos, check them out, like them, comment on them, tell me where you can improve. And yeah, it's all about helping people, motivating people. Some people do need the kick in the ass. Other people, they need to start. They don't want to start. Some people, they don't want to work out. I don't want to go work out. I had a bad experience in a gym, and the guy who signed me up for a membership was such a freaking dick. I never want to go to a gym again. That is the worst thing to do as far as fitness goes. And that's not how I try to motivate people. I motivate people more of a let's crawl before you walk. Let's walk before we run approach. So anyway, jumping on talking a little bit about compound movements. If you're not doing them, you need to do them. If you don't know what they need pumped up,